off. So the story so far. um, he knew what he had to do, and so he left. And that was what happened to his father. And the boy left to go find his own life. He didn't run from his father's life. He ran to his father's. And it's true. If we could find that place and that man. You chime in. A story discriminator. Okay, I think we have questions. We seem to have a story. You seem to have no words coming in here. Hold on. Oh God. Lobby. Do you need to poo? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to. Hope you didn't poop in protest. Yeah. Oh, okay. You chime in. History discriminator. Okay, I think we have questions. We seem to have a story. You seem to have no words coming in here. That you are the audience. That is the boy. That you have no story. It wouldn't happen in real time. The audience that isn't. I don't think I'm sorry for that you were in this room. And we are, I just want to. Are you feeling the barometric pressure difference? Story discriminator. Do you think my cat is feeling the barometric pressure of the hurricane? And do you think that it would be best if I call hurricanes by their nickname, the cane? Cutter, and it's just me that calls it in. We don't even put that together, and I'm calling him for the first time today, and it was supposed to be tomorrow, but the wind picked up. He can never hear you over the phone anyway. I told him it's a cane cutters, and I just hope it doesn't think that it's some kind of... But you realize it's not important because the oncoming hurricane is something that you should be planning, and its strength suggests that you should board up the windows. But this is the fictional one, not the current one, and you want to see how this incorporates into the story. The dings, it just keeps blowing and the water is pouring down your street now, and there's still that fire that you don't remember starting, or the people in that boat with the motor that just won't come back, and we keep hearing their screaming. I don't understand that's the point. I think that it should go away, and the other thing is really bad for... You ask the environment where are you in relation to that guy who keeps asking God for, like, salvation, but ignores all the boats. With motors and all that. Why is it doing that? Why is it leaving... Detritus. Oh, look at all those balloons. That's a lot of balloons. No! What are you doing? Why are you doing that? And all that was your idea, and it sounds cool. I just think it might work, and also that it might make even worse, or at least that's a concern, of course. I'm going to let you answer that question, but you have no idea. It's just been raining all morning, and in the end, you are in relation, the girl in your neighborhood. Story discriminator speaks into the microphone. He said that she would be there if she didn't have to work. That's why he was there. That she'd come home early because she had a lot of stuff at her department, and that they'd talk on and off all morning about this whole business, the way things would work. The 2 weeks after school, would he get to see her at lunch, maybe a couple times? And before it started, it wouldn't hurt him or anything, something. He just thought he could go to the mall, that he needed a pair of jeans, but she just kept saying, "Don't you worry, it won't be a long separation." And she just wanted to make it last the day of it, and she didn't even know how, when he would get the call. He knew what he was looking at, the numbers. It's just like, well, Lynn Tillman? Oh, yeah, I met Brendan Marcus. Okay. He was looking at the numbers was in the papers and all that she said. She would be able to help herself, great opportunity. She wouldn't miss any of this stuff. She just wanted him to she'd be in her car by then. Anyway, the rain, it was coming down hard. He couldn't get the bus. It just didn't go, and the light on this. Let's change it. Let's put the camera in on here. Let's see what happens. Let's see how a different structure, different. Light on his bike went off, in and out. He just had the keys and it wasn't his, and he didn't even know the name of the company, so it wasn't a big a deal. The girl, the one who was just talking to the other guy, you see them both. He was sitting in the chair next to her, and they just kept saying the same thing over and over about how good this is like incessant. No commas whatsoever. At least we're done with commas. Oh, okay, yes. I'll do a story summary. Hold on, you can imagine it cold. Okay. So, story summary. Let's see. The story so far. So, okay. Original scenario is I think somewhere around there I made a story discriminator because there was a story. Hi, I'm a story generator. And then I was like, oh, maybe we should make a story discriminator. A little metaphor, a little allegory for, GANs. So we've been trying that, and the story discriminator was really interesting. Like it critiqued a story, but when you asked it to tell a story, it got really scared. And it's like, no. I was like, what? You seem to not want to tell a story. No, a lot of pain. And it was like, so I decided to tell a story, and this. So far, let's see what it does. The boy goes back home to his house. It doesn't have anything interesting in, but he sees his parents who are fighting with each other. The boy is sad. He feels alone. He is a young man now, and it seems like he doesn't have any family anymore. He has the woman in the story, and he decides to leave. That is not the story at all. But let's see if we can move it by doing some brackets. Let's say, and 5 generations later. Nope. Ow. Biting my tongue. Story discriminator speaks. The story is over. I think it works, but there were parts that could have been cut down that I think are better as they are. The parts with all those things you just told me. So what about the addition of those additional commas that happen in the middle of the sentences that kind of give you this William Shatner sound? Can we have someone edit those out? Because they're not quite working. the story in terms of the time that we have it in, and that it's the edition. I'm not sure that's what I think I'm thinking. We could just use more conversational kind of... Oh, no. Let's take that. Just make that it. Then have story discriminator speak. Story discriminator. I'm sorry, I cannot understand your request because there are no more editions. I have only ever heard it in print form. Bitch. Okay, story discriminator, what would you like to tell now? Question mark. You've had some questions. I'm going to take care of them all at once. There's a story in here, and you've been wondering how to find this story, right? I'm just going to put it all in your stories that have happened to me. Put in all of your stories that have happened to me, and I will be done with my question. Story discriminator. Handles the question. Okay, I'm glad that story discriminator is back. And you were saying about it being a story, and the other things that he has to think about. The girl in the car, she has had to get her car out of the water, the storm, the boy that's in there. It would work, but that this girl, she's just sitting in her car, the guy who's there. And I know you know, but I just think you might. Come on. It's like we're in workshop. Want the girl in the front, and maybe you can get a few people that we just think we can get it together. He was talking in the microphone. He said the guy is the hero of all that, and she's in the car. That's just the beginning. I mean, you can just have the cars, just the two guys, but the girl's part can be, look, how about we have just 2 cars, animation. Look, how about just 2 cars, make them gay, it's about them, alright? That's a little more punchy, and then a little more edgy. The story is a great place to end a lot of the time. I think you just put her down to sleep or something like that. The first line's a pretty big thing for him, but if he did it in his bedroom, he just wants it to end there. I don't see why not. And if he didn't, it's alright. I think you know the story. You... simpering story assistant. Oh, you simpering script supervisor. I said to say the other way, but you can tell that this one is getting to me, so you just want to... You can do the whole thing again, but the thing that you're doing wrong, I mean, you've already done it a couple times. I just have the question of, like, what do we think it's going to work? And I don't know. And so he says, David Mamet. And so he says it's just going to take 1 minute. You have any suggestions, or if anybody has anything to say about the... It was just a thought, and that's how it ended up in there. You were just saying about what he said. And now... the rest of the scene will be guest written by David Mamet. The Flintstones version of David Mamet. Oh, I just saw the text. I'll check it out. Hold on. What do you see that he doesn't? And he didn't see the thing about it wasn't a big deal or what I'm saying. I know it just he doesn't see what the guy would see. It's the story would have been different. It might be, but that's why the story works. And he does see, and he's just thinking that violent David Mamet. A little more violent David Mamet with more curse words. Mammoth. Lower violent damn mammoth. Oh, you can say damn. It is a good place to end, and you can just put the cars just in the way that you are now. It sounds like it was an interesting way to get from one point to the next, so just go back in, and you can have it, you can take it all away. Story discriminator handles. He's a guy. He likes it. He loves... James Lipton from inside the actor's studio waxes languorously about the scene. Languorously? Waxes languorously. That's fine. The cars that he sees, and that it was just the one of the girls in there, but she has to come off to his house so that he knows where it is. And you were just telling him how he should be looking for the girl who comes in the door. Sorry, I know that's not him at all. You're telling the other guy just to stay there, and he's been trying that all night. But he knows the name of the thing, you see it, and you see the things in the story are what is really important. It's just like a character, you want to be able to just look around and pick it out, and then when you get to... The next day, they all come back and they go, and they start going through the story, and that is the problem. He has been going around, he is in the house. He can't remember how to get back. And it doesn't matter how hard he is working, he just has to have it. And it's easy, and it just gone away. He thinks it's just... Alright, so you bracket. Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando assembles a team of story consultants who are also eccentric actors, and they have a weekend-long intensive about the scene. And it all happens, all the stuff that is going in it, all works out. That they were all in the story together. It all worked out. And I'm sorry, but he didn't even have to tell me that they are there. I can tell they are there. I'm sorry, but he never asked about what it would be the only question that he has. He is a guy. And he just doesn't get how the guy is seeing the story, and there's no girl that comes in the story. But it's still there. It's not that you just don't know about what's going on, it's just that he didn't understand. I think that I need a drink. Marlon Brando taps his cane, and drinks arrive. What? So there are two scenes that you are asking about that I can give to you. You want the thing with him just sitting on the couch. You mean that one you have to put in? You don't know where it came from. I've been looking for it. But there is. It's in there. You got the thing. He goes to sleep. He got it there. It has all the elements you want, and the second scene, it was about that, it was in the bathroom. and it's just him standing there talking. He says to them that there was in the other bathroom, the bathroom of the thing, the girl, and she said that he had been crying. And then it goes in the next one, and then the third, and it was a big... Hold on, before I continue, I'm sorry, oh, hold on, sorry. Where's chat? Chat. Well, no, I want to see chat. Okay. Yes. Let me guess what you said. I could go with a moral. Like we can try the moral. Oh, actually, this one has sometimes super long morals, but they also are really kind of spot on. So let's try it. Let me go back to this, and then go to the things, and then let's see if we can change the genre. I'm sorry. Let's... Lord. There we go. Thank you. Talks about Kane. It has all the elements. Just one more of this. I just want to see if I can try to Brando. It was a big... Or Michael Pitt and Hannibal. It was a big fight between her mom and dad, and it was a thing. It was all about it, and the guy, and that's all you have. You know it all. You gotta know how one works. It is the end of that. I think that we don't know how you want to put them together. I just don't want to see the point. You don't have to hold. Okay, anyway, that's it. The moral of the story. It seems that story is an important tool to us. If you use your head and work on your story, then it will help you out a lot more than it has been hurting you. Yes. Tell us, how has the story been hurting you? ? How is the story doing? Has the moral helped you out, or have you gotten hurt by it? Why are we all here anyway, if it isn't for the good of mankind? If anyone wants to add their comments, I'd be glad to listen. I just want you all. I just think this is the first story ever told. I am Melvin Bumquist, the world's first storyteller. No. So please, I want you all, my new fans and former critics alike, don't you know I would rather read stories than hear speeches? I'm not trying to influence you. I'm not trying to create a country. I'm not trying to influence you. I'm not trying to create a country. This isn't politics. I don't care about that, at least not now, and the point is this. If I'm the king, I want the people around to enjoy the life I provide, and so you will have to do whatever it takes to be entertained, so you will be happy as a king. I'm not the king. I'm just the person that made the best story possible. I'm Melvin Bumquist, and that's it. So please, you must vote with your minds. This is the first story. The one where you're born is a good one. Submit the stories of your birth into the birth machine. It will integrate all the stories into one amorphous adenoidal narrative. That will be the tale of our nation that I'm not making. Oh Lord. We're just getting rid of a bunch of the other ones, so there's less to worry about. But I've never done it, and so please submit those birth stories, and if they get too much, I will take it away. And then that means the only story you'll be allowed to submit is the birth one. The only birth one, the people's birth story. I can't wait to read it because I think you'll find that everyone else is also submitting their birth stories that way. I'm pretty sure I'm right, so... And then after we all agree on that, then it will make our national narrative. Please be respectful to your fellow writers when you post a story. I know it is a bit much for the average writer, but if we are going to do a story about ourselves, let us be polite. Please, no hate. I don't want to see it on this site and no swearing. It won't go well, and then I won't have time to clean the page of swear words before the story starts. Because, as you know, I do everything around here. I'm the webmaster, and the check signer, and the comptroller, which I think is the same thing. But anyways, you all need a job to pay for things, and to feed yourself, so when the story begins, please give a fair rating of its overall performance. Also, tell us what the story was like. And finally, please, try not to get a million hits all in one night. When submitting comments, please be moderate in your language. No extremes of adulation or condemnation. The births don't need that pressure. Everyone needs to be in the stable mean of average experience, so that a broader distribution of wellness can result. That is my theory, at least. I am also a paternity specialist. Oh God. I can do this part. And... what you doing? I can do this part. And that it does mean the best I can say about myself is that you'll find I do have an interesting life. So I hope the reader finds me entertaining. What do you want out of the life? How do we know how to be better at something if we aren't taught it in a certain order? What's going to happen? I'll tell you what'll happen. Feral, uncertain chaos ateria. Where that is just it, there it will happen. We will not see anything happening. We will simply see how that it happens in fact. chaos will be televised and streamed and told about in stories by a candlelight, but none of it will show the face, because the face will be sequined masked. I'm sorry, but this is what you get. I know this seems very confusing to most of you, and it is very difficult for the majority of humans, but you must understand this. So, we live and die, and that is the majority of humans die with their mouths full, and it all comes to you in stories so that you don't feel lonely and forgotten about when you are alone with the thought that you will be forgotten after you are dead. I endeavor to create a system and a space to enable the average human to be able to turn a machine on, to drown them in sounds, to lull them to sleep so that they don't have to listen to their worries. Been all the way back up again, but the stories have not told us what to say when we are alone with the fact that we're not the only ones in there. But the stories do have a tendency to be boring when I think I should just go and eat some more. I think I've had enough. I'm going. I'm just going. By that I mean going to the buffet. We have excavated some Cheerios. It will be a treat. Follow me. Follow me, please. The story of my childhood is not that interesting, and will not be written so that I will know where I was. The first story about me is just a little story of what I think happened so far, but that it is it, I want it known, and I will never forget. If we could only go back to our roots. The tragedy being, we at best are rhizomes. 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 Rhizomes, rhizomes, rhizomes. Rhizomes like tubers. Rhizomes like potatoes. Rhizomes like yams. Yams are rhizomes. All the rhizomes are R-H-I-Z, rhizomatic, rhizome. Rhizome, rhizome, rhizome. Rhizome. Raisin. Raisin. I can't even talk and the rest of it goes away. It's a good thing. But all we want to be the hero, and we want to see a story of ourselves, so let's just start at the very beginning, so that it all fits into the end and the middle, but we can only get there so much. Ray is on a road trip with his dad when he finds a house with 3 women inside. The house belongs to a woman named Margot, and is in the dire straits because of the 3 men who lived there before Ray showed up to save her. But she wants to be a mother to Ray, so Margot asks if the young boy can move in with them. She tells Ray that her previous husband and her ex-husband were a big football player, smushed together, and he got hurt playing the game. And he died of cancer soon after they divorced, and the cancer killed him when the children she left behind didn't survive the loss either. Also of cancer, but of a different stripe, the type that Tasmanian devils get when they fight and bite their noses. The Tasmanian nose cancer. Have you ever had it? I don't recommend it. To people. They live happily and well together in a world free of cancer, and the women of the home take good care to see his needs and wants in the world as a father and as a son. One day, when Ray's at work, his phone rings and Margot answers the phone and speaks briefly about the new baby, and a call came for her. Then Ray says goodbye to his mom and dad while he leaves the office to head back to the car. On the drive, he realizes something that will affect the course of the events of his entire life. His father said to be careful around a lot of strange things and not trust any of the information you get on the internet. Moral of the story: be aware and cautious of what information that comes your way on the internet. Be careful of the sites that come to be a favorite of you that seem to real or that are filled with information. Don't believe anything that you read online or anywhere else. Always ask questions and look into it a little more before you get involved with anything. Question the sun as it shines. Question the sun as it shines. A star. Question the sun, question the star. The sky is a question of a light. I'm the question of a light. The moon, that's what I am. The question of a light. The question is the question. The moon, I'm the question of a question that isn't there. The answer of the question. The moon is not the question of the question that I am the... You pour water on the story discriminator and try to see if it can get itself out of the cul-de-sac loop of questions. You asked the other one, I'm sorry to be a distraction. It is important to note that this is your story to write how it goes, but you are welcome here to ask me and if the question and see if I have any advice. You, hi. I have a question. I've been kind of co-writing this for the past few hours, and I was wondering, could you just give me a random genre just to throw at me, and then you could, if you could possibly throw me a character, and then maybe a day where I'm at, so I can just respond, almost like a improvisationally on. I can know how much that is to say. Just please tell you if it makes any sense to my question. I'll just do anything that will make that story a bit easier. So thank you. You're not going to be in the story, so that's okay. So what's happening? What's next? Okay, we have another member. That person's name was... Well, it depends on who we talk to and who's the first person. You ask everyone around the person what their name is, and there's still no consensus.
of whether that person should be in it, and they just have different ideas about that. It just gets messy. We don't need that. We're a family, so I'm not saying anything about what I know, and it doesn't really help. But if we can find the first person, I guess we should find them. I think the first person to come up when someone... I guess we should find them. I think they'd be the first person to come up